Hey, everybody. Honest Abe here, smoking cigars with my trusty sidekick, the man they call the GOAT, Alex Tavella.
What's happening?
TGS mini event number 3. Yes, number 3?
Number 3.
Number 3, yes. As everybody knows out there, we have 5 special releases in honor of the Great Smoke this year, and tonight's special release is a collaboration between the fine folks at Cigar Dojo and Espinosa Cigars. This is Diet Sarsaparilla. All right? This is going to be released sometime tonight. It's not in the store. We're going to give everybody time to log in the store. We'll tell you in the upcoming few minutes when it's going to go live. Give everybody time to log in the store. Don't bother hitting the notify me button. It's not live yet.
Don't bother hitting refresh either.
Yeah, don't bother hitting refresh. Guys, there's plenty of time. Now, one of these releases have sold out because you got to remember not everybody's gotten their tickets yet, and we made way more than we did last year, so please don't sweat it. I promise you're going to be able to get your cigars. And joining us tonight are the fine folks from Espinosa Cigars, Hector Alfonso, and the man, the original alpha dog, Erik Espinosa.
What's up?
And from the Dojo Studios in Colorado, the master sensei himself, Erik Espinosa. How's that? I even said it right tonight.
Abe, wow. you nailed it, Abe.
Nailed it, didn't he?
I don't know how to say it. I just like Guttermerson better.
I don't even know if what to think. He hit the name perfect, man. I'm psyched. I'm glad to be here, guys.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us. Sam, I am feeling better. Thank you very much. I have not tried one of these. I'm going to light it up now. This is the Diet Sarsaparilla. I for the guys just joining us and maybe not knowing the history of Sarsaparilla, why don't, Erik, you tell us a little bit about the history of the original Sarsaparilla cigar?
You're gonna have to specify on Erik's today.
Yeah,
Master Sensei, please. Since this was a Dojo collaboration project, why don't you give us a little history on the original Sarsaparilla?
Yeah. So this is a cool thing because the Sarsaparilla was the very second cigar that we ever did. Next came right after the Dogma, the Underground Dogma, which a lot of folks are familiar with. Then the cool thing about this was, after we did the Dogma and it was a success, we were like, hey, maybe we could start doing this. Like this could be a thing. So we talked to Erik because obviously Espinosa is one of our favorite brands. They were our very first Cigar of the Year award winner with the Espinosa Habano. And so I'm a big fanboy of Espinosa cigars. I always have been. And so we talked to Erik and we were like, hey, man, we want to do a cigar with you. And Erik was like, oh, man, I got some stuff. I got some really good stuff. And I got some really great ideas about the name of it. And so Erik sent us a bunch of samples. Erik, do you mind if I tell people the name that you wanted to call it?
No, go ahead.
So originally Erik wanted to call the cigar "Turn Your Head and Cough." so because it was going to be a strong cigar, and so he sent us a bunch of samples. We thought it was a funny name, but when we were smoking the samples, Abe and Alex, the one that we liked so much, sitting around the circle with Jordan and the guys, everybody was like, "Man, this thing is good. It kind of has like a root beer note to it." And so because of that root beer note, we were like, the name is funny, Turn Your Head and Cough. It's funny, but this cigar has such a interesting kind of root beer note to it. Maybe we could, use a play off of that. Now it's not original Sarsaparilla. It's not flavored. Don't freak out. It just had that kind of an interesting kind of root beer note to it. And so after a while, after thinking about it, we came up with the name Sarsaparilla. It was amazingly successful. Sold out super fast. People loved it. Then eventually, last year we came out with it as a national product and whatnot. And so that's sort of the history of the original Sarsaparilla and how it came to be.
Now, the Sarsaparilla, Erik, at the PCA show, you made it now. It's a regular production item.
Correct.
You got to say Erik E or
you call him Sensei and Bro. I mean, come on, Sensei and Bro.
Bro.
Yeah.
It's a regular
We-
production item now.
We did listen when we first sold it through the other company we sold it through. We sold it out real quickly, and I think that today, before we did the release, it was one of the most sought out cigars it was. Everywhere I traveled the country, everybody would ask me for it. So Eric and I got together and he said, "Listen, why don't we do a national release for it?" And we did, and we sold tons at the trade show. We're just waiting to get more. We're gonna get we sold it out real quickly, so Hector could tell you a little bit more, when we're getting some in and all that. But we ordered more of them, and they're on their way.
So I think I'm gonna check right now.
One of the cool things,
Lost
Abe,
you
while
guys.
you're checking, one of the cool things about the new release is because we decided to do it as a national project and make it available to anybody, we gave it a nice box. It has a really cool sort of weathered looking Western, if you will, old West style, full on box to it. So when you get it now, it's a product that you really can feel cool about on the shelf. It's got a cool vista when you open it up. It has that old, medicine man poster style on the inside. So it's a really, really cool product now that it became a full on project.
Listen, I love the packaging and the art on this thing. It's absolutely just perfect. Perfect is the word I'd like to use. Hey, Alex, while I got you on, I just wanted to make sure. Have you shared this to social yet?
I did share it to social.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't know how to share this to the Great Smoke. It doesn't give me an option. It's very weird. This Facebook.
I'm not an admin on Great Smoke.
No, really.
But while we're here, it's funny. I lit this up while the intro was running, and it's like a root beer float or a sarsaparilla float. I mean, it's got that flavor of the original sarsaparilla with the creamy Connecticut wrapper. It's really pretty interesting.
And the original sarsaparilla is still in stock at smokin.com. So anyone wanting to try it, it's available. I just wanted to make sure it was in stock before we said it. Listen, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it now. I'm not that far into the cigar, right? So that's how far I am. I'm totally not a Connecticut guy by nature. There are Connecticut cigars I smoke. And I know people are going to say, you just saying, but I'm straight up. If I didn't really think this was exceptional for any reason, I just wouldn't really talk about it. This is really good, just from the first few puffs.
Yeah.
This is actually wildly not taste like a normal Connecticut bitter. Sometimes I get the bitter from the leaf. This is just smoked. We lost Eric, but this is smoking great. You smoking yours, right, Alex?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, this thing, it's got that sarsaparilla original with that creamy Connecticut, no bitterness, because that's one of my big issues with Connecticut's too, is that bitter flavor.
I get a bitter taste when I put it on my lip.
I mean, it depends.
And
Not everybody, and Eric does a good Connecticut, which is the crema, right? Yeah, the crema is
right.
Eric's, which is a good Connecticut. Doesn't have that bitter flavor as well. So
Yeah, but you got to realize we're not Connecticut smokers.
Right.
Nobody in the office is a Connecticut smoker. I mean, well, Jack is now, but Eric and I are not Connecticut smokers. And the first sarsaparilla was a bellicoso, which we're not big bellicoso smokers. We may have one or two in our portfolio, but none of us ever have a cutter in our pocket. So when we did after the first sarsaparilla, I remember we did a sarsaparilla 2, and we did it in a Toro. But people really just dug the bellicoso. I mean, there's something to it, I think.
volume
Now-
down, Abe.
Sorry about that. That was me.
I'll let Hector speak to this more, but so when the idea of Diet Sarsaparilla came around, I think Eric Jr. was the one that came up with the name. He's like, we should do a Diet Sarsaparilla, make it a Connecticut. And we're like, oh, that's an amazing idea. But we wanted to kind of keep that sarsaparilla flavor. So we asked Hector, hey, can you come up with a Connecticut, but keep the Mexican in there somewhere, like maybe as a binder or whatever. So Hector brilliantly weaved into the blend that Mexican San Andreas into the binder, so you still get that sort of root beer kind of flavor. I don't know, Hector, if you want to speak to that a little bit. I think that's where you get where that
that was
balances out some of that bitterness.
That was the request from, if I'm not mistaken, I think Jordan's the one who requested that, and I'd want to say one text message, but I'm going to go ahead and say several text messages, where he the Mexican binder would be great. Well, I've got to think about this, and no, but Mexican binder would be great. Well, all right, there you got. So there's a little Mexican in there's a regular Lazona 2-leaf binder. One of them is Mexican, so there's a little bit of that Mexican feel in it. Listen, as a Connecticut goes, I think it's a good Connecticut. I think it's a very good Connecticut. And sometimes you make a Connecticut, you go, man, this is, and I think Eric can probably attest to this as well, that we've done some of these special projects, these things that are 10 packs that are a dojo product or something that we're doing for a store exclusive, and we sit there and go, well, I think we probably should have kept that one. But so it's I think that's the same that applies for the cigar as well. I'd like to tell you that I have some to smoke. I don't have any. I don't have any to smoke. We cracked open a bundle and we smoked it at first, and then I think they're gone by now. So
I still like.
Yeah.
I still would prefer to turn your head and cough.
So we just want to let everybody know. Okay, so this is if you're watching us on our regular smoking page,
I would prefer to turn your head and cough. I thought that was a better name for the cigar.
This is a Great Smoke exclusive release, so you have to be participating in the Great Smoke this year. It was made for the Great Smoke attendees. They got the first dibs at it. There's a special TGS store. If you have your ticket, just click into the TGS store. You'll see there. We're going to put it up live very shortly, and then everybody will be able to purchase them and get their chance to get their diet sarsaparillas, which I gotta say, totally worth getting. Seriously, totally worth getting. And I'm really enjoying this more than I expected, so I can't lie.
Why? Why did you not expect it?
I'm just not. If you look at what I smoke on a regular basis, I seldom grab a Connecticut cigar.
Neither do we. But sometimes in the morning, with a cup of coffee or what have you. What it is? We don't make the normal Connecticut's. We really don't. I mean, I'm not here to knock anybody else, but most of the crema or the diet sarsaparilla or Connecticut's that we make, we got to put a little oomph in it to overpower that bitter wrapper. Connecticut. The Ecuadorian is not as much as the Connecticut. Shade from Connecticut, but we got to balance the when we're doing the blend. And it's still got a lot of flavors. I wouldn't consider that a mild cigar. I mean, I would say it's mild to medium for being a Connecticut.
I agree,
but it's very much enjoyable. I think it's more on a medium
for the guys. Even if you don't smoke Connecticut, I think it's it's mild to medium. If you ask me,
burning beautifully. Look at
and actually, and one of the things also about that cigar, where the first sarsaparilla was a 52 ring. There's something
in and out. I don't know about you guys. You guys are freezing.
There's something about that 6x48 Vitola that comes out of Lazona. Almost everything that we've done in that size has been a hit. So I really wanted to use that size. That's probably my favorite Vitola coming out of Lazona.
I guess, and I guess just to balance this out, I'm probably the only guy on the show that loves Connecticut's. I'm a Connecticut fanatic, and so when we came up with this project, and we did blend test tasting and all that sort of stuff. We weren't just winging it, because Jordan and I here at Dojo Studios, we're big Connecticut guys. And so this cigar, if you are a Connecticut fan, you're going to love it. If you're not a Connecticut fan, I think you're still going to like it, because like Eric said, it's got some oomph to it. So there's a little bit of something for everybody in this diet sarsaparilla.
Well, we were honored to have it. And everybody out there who's watching right now, go to the TGS store. The product is going to go live as soon as Alex says it's live.
Live.
It is live. The product is live for sale.
Boom.
Don't go crazy, guys. I'm telling you. You'll have your shot at getting them. Trust me. Hitting refresh and going nuts. Be patient.
So let's say the real story how this came about. All right.
Yeah, we'd like to know the real story about how this came about.
Let's have fun with it.
As your consigliere, I'd like to advise you not to tell this story.
I'm going to say it. I'm going to give it a little twist.
All right.
we had planned on doing something else before this project came about, and then
Are you talking about on our end?
Well, no. Yeah, you're in. Yeah.
Yeah, this was not the original project that we were working on with the Great Smoke for the Great Smoke release. We had started early, like it was probably March of last year. You had sent us samples of what we were working on.
Right, and then we made something that was similar looking, and just the way life is, I think it worked out for the better. And you were a little upset about that, and then that same day, I mean, Eric called me and, hey, listen, I want to do something with Abe, and then your son had mentioned something about Diet Sarsaparilla and what have you, and then here we are today, Diet Sarsaparilla.
I mean, I'll just tell everybody what happened. So we made a post. I think it was probably like last March.
Yeah.
I had posed Eric because Eric had never in his portfolio at the time made a triple wrap cigar. So we wanted a Candela, I think Maduro, and a Habano wrap cigar. So they were working on making us the first ever out of La Zona factory, a cigar that was made with 3 wrappers, So we made a little teaser post. Eric had sent us some samples. We smoked. We liked them. We made a little teaser post, saying, look, this is how far in advance we work on these TGS releases. They're not fly-by-night stuff. These manufacturers are awesome in really working with us to develop something. And then I don't know when it was released, but you did something with Protocol. What was it called?
It was called Battleborn. It was a Veterans Day, something for Veterans Day.
Right, and it was a triple wrapped.
Well, it wasn't specifically
triple wrapped, but it was
had
a cigar
flakes.
that used 3 different tobaccos.
It looked like
camouflage.
It looked like camouflage netting. For those of you guys in the service, the camouflage netting that you put over equipment. And the funny thing is that we were really frustrated about that when I told Eric, because the factory, we make demands of the factory, and for them sometimes it's unrealistic. And she calls me and she goes, I can only do 100 of those cigars a day, right? I said, well, you've got time, you got time to do them, but we didn't think that it would be, down the road. We didn't think that it was going to be a problem, because they were kind of 2 different things, but 2 similar. And we understood your position, but as Eric said, luckily, things worked out, and I think this is a very good representative of something that comes out of the factory and something made by Espinosa. I think you guys are going to be very happy with it, and have those out there who are going to buy these packets, because we know they're going to go, are going to be very happy with the end result.
Yeah, I mean, for us, it took the wind out of its sails that now there was already kind of another cigar that used 3 wrappers. I'm like, well, it just kind of took for us a special moment. And then when Eric called me and said, look, we're working on this project with the Dojo guys, and we talked to them, and they'd be honored to make it a TGS release. We were like, absolutely. We loved it right off the bat.
We should just go ahead and get ready for sugar-free sarsaparilla and sarsaparilla zero in the next 2 years. Let's just go ahead and get those. Let's get that shit taken care of now, so we don't have anything to worry about down the road. You know what I mean?
That's funny, actually.
For those of you who've been to Nicaragua, as me and Eric have been, Eric's probably been 100 times. I'm going on probably 30 or 40 times. The Diet Coke in Nicaragua is the best Coke I ever had in my life. It's the best Coke you ever had in your life.
It's called Coca-Cola Light. Made with real sugar.
Light to it.
Made with real sugar.
There ain't nothing light to it. So I'm thinking we got at least 2 or 3 years worth of TGS cigars already wrapped up in this light, sugar-free kind of shit. Maybe even tab. We might even do a tab next year.
That's funny. So, I mean, look, last year was the first year we incorporated TGS releases, right? With the digital experience, we were trying to think of ways to make it exciting, create some excitement, because when you're trying to think of something virtual, it's kind of hard to make it exciting.
Oh, yeah.
So it was the first time we said, let's make some TGS releases, hopefully create some excitement. And we created a whole crop load of excitement. But it was done very much on the rush. So we pivoted to do it digitally, at the last minute. And I really think Eric called me. He's like, hey, bro, how come you didn't come to me to make a cigar or whatever. So we knew right off the bat this year we wanted to make sure we had Espinosa cigars included. And we honestly, from smoking it right now, couldn't be happier with this choice for the TGS release. So kudos to you guys. Once again, in my opinion, knocked it out of the park.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it was good. Look, I don't even have one. I'm chewing on a azulejo because we don't have one sarsaparilla.
This is
We ship everything.
and Abe. That is why I don't give him cigars. He's chewing on our newest release. Instead of smoking it, he's chewing it.
That's funny. And just so you know, these guys to make the timeline. So I mean, people are going to wonder what's going on. So let me just explain it now that everybody's watching. The pictures that we've shown and everything throughout the, talking about the cigar shows this brown craft paper. They were unable to get this brown craft paper, so they ended up going with a light, whiter paper. Erik's team was packing this stuff up literally up until last minute. They delivered these cigars to our warehouse today. So they are in the warehouse and they will start going out first thing in the morning.
Kudos to Richie. Well, here's the problem, and I'll tell you what happened there. When we came about with this project, the cigars have been made a long time ago than when we started the project, and we let them sit. But we knew that the deadline was today, so the factories opened up a week ago because of the holidays. So we had to get them in on
In December.
In December, but the bands weren't done. So, and we couldn't ship them down to Nicaragua. We didn't have bands, so we had to band them in Miami. And then when we go get the craft paper that we first bought to do the samples, guess what? There's a shortage of paper in this country. I mean, we went everywhere. We ordered them from Amazon, and they said we were going to get them this Friday. So my son and I got in the car. He went his way. I went my way. We went everywhere in South Florida, and we couldn't find any paper. And I finally went to the guy he does some stickers and stuff for us. And I went to his office, and he's telling me, because the way it came about, also the 6th province was going to have a cardboard box around it, not just to protect it. It was beautiful that my son designed, and the guy couldn't get the paper for it.
This COVID shit is real. I mean,
there's a shortage of everything going on right now.
It's ridiculous.
I went to this guy's office the other day, and I told him, "Look, I'm in a bind, man. I need your help." So he went back in the warehouse, and he had this canary yellow paper. I said, "Dude, I can't do that." It's and we went through and I actually had Erik Master Sensei on FaceTime showing him, "Look, I got."
Is this paper good? Is this paper good?
I think we can just barely make it. This guy's got like 500 and like 502, of this.
He's got a ream of it. He has a ream of this paper.
We can't mess this up, and this is all we got. It was crazy, And then I don't know what this is called, but that paper that the butcher uses, but we have it in the warehouse to wrap. Yeah, but just to wrap, put it in the packaging material that you just crumble it up and you throw it in there. We were going to use that. You can't find paper.
Guys,
so
they
literally, like he said, we turned it in. Richie drove it down there today.
Did they let Richie go
today?
Did they let Richie go already? Every time you send Richie, I always think it's like in The Godfather. Where's this guy? Oh, he's playing pinochle with my guys. Until the cigar's good, we're not gonna let Richie go. Listen, these guys, people don't realize we're having problems here getting stuff. Can you imagine how getting things in Nicaragua are?
Right.
It's not easy, man. And whenever we have something like this that doesn't have the usual 5 or 6 months, projection, we're hustling. We're hustling.
But we got it done, and it looks great. The packaging looks great, and the cigars are great. I mean, I wish I had one to smoke, but
I don't have any, man. Sorry.
So listen,
I feel like me and you are the only ones with these things.
We are. And just so you know, we had to open up the one pack that he sent us early for marketing purposes, for photography. That's the pack we opened up to even try the one cigar. I just want to give also a proper thanks out because we have a lot of our fans watching, and especially guys from our Smoking Social Facebook group, our private Facebook group. If you're not a member, check it out on Facebook, Smoking Social. Great place to be if you're in the cigar community, cigar world. But I don't know if I've ever said this publicly or live, but I really want to thank Erik Espinosa because he's talking about banding these cigars in his factory. Erik is the guy we send our Connoisseur Club cigars to every month, who bands our cigars. because we get them from the manufacturers without bands. We take them down to Miami, and him and his team put those bands on all our Connoisseur Club cigars every month. I'm sure it's a pain in the ass for him, but big kudos and thank you to your team who every month, get those bands on it, make them pretty for us to send to all of our Connoisseur Club members. So thank you very much.
Oh, it's our pleasure. I mean, we have a team there. By the way, my sister says you owe her some cash for banning them.
Yeah. She will get collections on your ass. I'm just telling you now. Just she.
He shorted me 2 cigars. I said, "What do you mean he shorted you 2 cigars?" Oh boy.
Now, we were talking a little bit about Cigar of the Year. Eric, I want to touch base on you, and then I want to talk to Erik Espinosa a little bit about Knuckle Sandwich. But Eric Tormson, Erik Tormson,
Nailed it.
you are coming down to your final countdown for the Dojo Cigar of the Year. Where are you at now in your countdown?
So tomorrow we do number 4, and then on Friday nights we do the final 3. We do that live on Smoke Night Live. But what Eric's chewing on right there,
number 10.
Number 10.
10 is a great cigar. Now, see, here's the thing. A lot of people do lists. Most of the lists are like 30, 40 cigars, whatever. We only just do 10. So for that cigar to make our top 10, that's good. And by the way, the Laranja there's only, I think, 2 lines. Jordan's sitting here. I think there's only 2 lines that have ever shown up more than a couple times in our lists. And the Laranja, every single release of the Laranja has been in our top 10 list. And that cigar that Eric is chewing on right now is a frigging amazing cigar. So when you see it in the humidor, not only is it beautiful to look at, it's beautiful to smoke. And so pick that thing up right now. It's a guaranteed amazing experience. That's one cigar that I think any cigar smoker will like. Any cigar smoker. There's a lot of cigars. Yeah, even our number 1 of the year last year, which was the Pledge, that really appeals to the dark, deep smoker, that loves that deep, rich Maduro, and I love that too. But this Laranja line is one of those lines that I think anybody, no matter what kind of smoker you are, you'll love.
Well,
I got to tell you. Go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Eric.
Well,
go ahead.
I just want to tell you a quick story because you were saying, when we first started the company, it was some dark times. I mean, I don't need to tell everybody we went through some struggles like everybody does. Nobody wanted to see us to succeed, especially opening up a factory down in Nicaragua. It was hard for us to get the good tobaccos and what have you. And I'm not a tech guy, as you know. I struggled to even get on here. So I would never see anything. So when we got Cigar of the Year with Dojo, I mean, I'm like, dude, it was great. It was a great feeling. I still didn't know who they were. And then the following year, we get Cigar of the Year with Moya Ruiz, a cigar, and I'm like, oh, these, I gotta get in contact with these guys. We started talking a little bit in the year, but then we got closer. And then the third year, they gave it to
Santana.
To Santana with the De Crozier cigar. Now people are questioning, hey, do you own Dojo? I said, no.
I admit it. I'm a bit of a fanboy.
We're just friends. I went from being a fan of theirs to everybody telling, do you own Dojo? No, man, I don't own Dojo.
Mind your business.
It's those lavender herbs and spices, man. I don't know what you do, but I love it.
Your final release of number 1 will be done on Friday, yes?
Yeah, Friday night. Yeah, live.
Friday night. And just so anybody knows out there, we've had the honor and the privilege to offer a Dojo Sampler of their. We make a 5-pack of their top 10 selections every year, and once the news is announced, we will have the Dojo top cigars of 2021 sampler available.
Now Abe, you get 5 of the top 10, and I can tell you guys that Espinosa is one of. I can't tell you the rest, but I can tell you that's one of them.
There you go. So it'll be in our sampler. It'll go live Friday night after the final announcement is made. Before I forget, because I want to talk to Erik Espinosa about the Knuckle Sandwich. This broadcast, this TGS virtual broadcast of the release of the Diet Sarsaparilla cigar by Espinosa Cigars, is brought to you by Rebel Bourbon. Back in 1849, when everyone else was using a rye mash bill, Rebel Bourbon pioneered wheat-based bourbon. And it's this award-winning wheated recipe that continues to defy trends today. Rebel Bourbon is unapologetically original and brazenly bold. But don't let its rough edges fool you. Rebel Bourbon whiskey goes down smooth, whether you prefer it neat, on the rocks, or mixed. Looking for a spirit as rebellious as yours? You've met your match with Rebel Bourbon. Cheers, and thank you to Rebel Bourbon for sponsoring and this broadcast of this TGS release of the Diet Sarsaparilla cigar. Thank you very much to everybody over at Rebel Bourbon. And it is good. Nice, smooth. So, Erik Espinosa, bro, show us this shirt you're wearing. You guys,
I would have to stand up a little bit right there.
Knuckle Sandwich. You did a little South Florida tour with your good friend Guy Fieri. While we got you on, tell us a little bit about this project.
I met him about 3 years ago. Actually, it was the day before the Great Smoke. And I met him through a mutual friend. You know, I've dealt a lot with these celebrities and what have, and our meeting was supposed to be at 10 o'clock. I get there at 9:30. I go get a coffee. It was in a hotel, the Lowe's Hotel in South Beach, and I go outside and I light up a cigar and he shows up. I'm thinking he'll be there at 10:15, 10:30, what have you. At 9:35, 5 minutes later, I sat down, take a sip of coffee, light my cigar, and he shows up with a bottle of his tequila, Santo Tequila, signed. And he looks at me and he goes, Erik? And I go, Bill? He goes, they told me you were an a-hole, you know, because his name's not Bill, but, you know, I'm busting his balls and we just hit it off. We really, really did. And then we started talking about a cigar and what have you. And he's telling me about his experience with the cigar. He's been smoking for a long time. And I said, why would you want to get in this business? He said, well, I like the cigar business. I go, look, you got hundreds of restaurants. You have this, you have that. I said, a lot of these celebrities have tried it. It's never worked. And he goes, why doesn't it work? Because nobody puts effort behind it. And he says, and listen, I like you. I watch your show. It would not work unless you I can make you the best cigar in the world. And if you do not put effort behind it, it's not going to work. And he thought about that. And he tells me, what if I put the effort and the time? And I said, well, if you're going to tell me you're going to put effort and time, you look me straight in the eye, you shake my hand. That's all. That's enough for me. And he did. And, you know, then COVID hit and we were dangling a little bit with the bands and the packaging and what have you. And Hector made him a bunch of cigars and he tried them out and he picked the ones that he liked the best. He liked them all. Getting back and forth, he's a busy guy and it took a while, but COVID didn't help. So he came down to town. He calls me up and he tells me, okay, you ready to roll? I said, I'm ready where you are. He says, okay, I'm going down to California. He stopped filming, just to let all your viewers know. He stopped filming Diners, Driving, and Dives to come to South Florida to spend a couple of days just visiting cigar shops. Here's a guy who's got probably all the money in the world. Like I said, 100 restaurants, 3 shows in the Food Network, which is going to make a lot more money than he will in the cigar business. And my first stop was to see you, Abe. How great of a guy is he? He's real, down to earth. He called your daughter on FaceTime. This guy signs all the time, stops and takes pictures for everybody, and he really, really loves cigars. And according to him, so far he's done the right thing. Day two, we finished because the day one we go to West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, and the second day we're in Miami. On the way back, we stop at the warehouse. I bought him some. He likes that mofongo. It's a Puerto Rican plantain a dish, and we bought enough for him to take back to his house. And we ordered 1,000 shirts. That man, and I posted the video, signed 1,000 shirts. Okay, and I told him, guy, you don't have to do this. And he says, how is it possible that 50 guys get a signed shirt and what, the other 950 not going to get them? He says, bring me all the shirts, Espinosa. And I said, dude, you don't bring the shirts, Espinosa. And I said, okay. I mean, he signed every single shirt. So his heart's in it, his soul's in it. Okay. And I really, really think this is going to be something big because he did a show with Vanilla Ice the other day and he had the shirt on. And he had a cigar in his hand and he was chewing the cigar. So, I mean, and I think this will not just help Espinosa Cigars. I mean, when you see a guy on TV, you know, smoking cigars, somebody who, by the way, that mostly everybody likes, you know, it might get people to smoking cigars. That's my opinion. You know, at least try it. You know, and I think it's going to help the industry.
Like Cigar Fieri really more involved in the cigar industry is good for the cigar industry as a whole. I don't care what.
That's my point. Yeah,
it's awesome. And I'm going to tell you something. I mean, he spent a long time here. I don't know how long you spent anywhere, but he really spent a long time here, actually sitting in my office. Super down to earth guy. And look, you know, I was really honest with him about this kind of a project, and this guy seems to be very committed, not just to make a cigar, but to be involved in the cigar community, which I was very impressed with. He took time. I told him how my kids were foodies. They've never been to McDonald's. They don't eat fast food. He got on the phone with my oldest girl, not only talked to her, he invited her out to his studio,
California,
for the premiere
grocery, the grocery.
For the filming of the new season of his show in April, which is his birthday, which is amazing. Super nice guy, and you gave me a couple sticks. This cigar was really, really good. So I actually have the cigar. It was a very, very good cigar. I think he'll be successful. And look, I'm going to tell people now. I'll tell you how committed he is. Guy Fieri is the featured chef at the Food and Wine Festival in Miami, which just so happens to be February 26th, the day of the Great Smoke event. Yeah. And we're not saying anything, we're not making any promises, but he sat in this office and he's really trying to work out how he can come in the morning and make an appearance and then leave in time to make it to his responsibilities in Miami. So
you tell how committee is, Abe. He looked in a helicopter.
Huh.
He looked into his boat. See the timing. Now I don't know if it's going to happen because this week, I mean, every year they have a different chef that's their year. This year is his year. He's got a dinner on Thursday, something on Friday, and he's got the food and wine on Saturday, and he's got to be there. I don't know, 12 o'clock. I don't remember the time he said, but he in front of me. He looked into he's looking into all that, and he's going to let me know as soon as he can. And he definitely doesn't want to let you down, or me or himself. But he's really looking into it. Again, I don't promise anybody, but you guys will be hearing from him a lot more. I mean, we're going to get him on your show, sometime, and whether it's from his house or whether it's in studio, what have you, because he did buy a house, in South Florida, and we're going to get him on
your
Dojo.
neighbor.
Yeah, we're going to get him on Dojo and all that. So
after KMA, right?
What's that?
Well, he's going to do
Yeah.
Heckle and Jekyll first, and then we're going to move him on.
There you go. Well, I'll give you Heckle and Jekyll first.
But yeah, definitely. But a great human being. I mean,
listen,
and I don't want to take much time because I know this is about the die Sarsaparilla, but he raised $25 million for the food service, for the service industry. He does a lot for the military, first responder. I've never seen that man tell somebody, no, I can't take a picture. Now, the kids, when they approach him, he tells them, can I take a picture? What do you say? Please, sir. Absolutely. And then he takes your phone from you. What's your password? And you tell him your password, and he does a video with you showing you, is this your dad? Tell your dad, blah, 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 does a video and hands you back the phone. I mean, he's a partier, though. I went to his house. I'll tell this quick story. We went on a boat, and we went bar hopping. And I thought we were going to get to New York. We were on the boat for an hour, and we were headed north. And I'm, you know, I'm looking for the Statue of Liberty somewhere. Yeah, we're going, and I'm like an idiot. I said, I'm not a boat guy. I sit in the front. I mean, my arm still hurts from holding on to the side of the rail, you know. And thank God it wasn't that rough. So we get there, we start bar hopping, and we stop the bar on the way back. We stop maybe 5 places, and he gets off the phone with Kid Rock, and he says, "All right, we can go to after dinner. We're gonna go after dinner. We got John Travolta coming over to the house." And I'm like, "The John Travolta, the actor?" You know, I'm like,
No, the
myself,
carpenter.
you know, really. And I'm like, and then we're gonna go see Michael Jordan, Gretzky, and Kid Rock. Espinosa, you coming with me? I said, let's go, bro. I'm gonna be with you 2 days, bro. I can turn my underwear inside out, and I can go commando one day. I got no clothes, and that's it. After that, I'm done. And we get to the house. 2 minutes later, here comes John Travolta, the nicest guy in the world. I mean, he greeted everybody, and I was helping Guy cook. I mean, I don't know what I'm doing compared to him. I was just helping him prep food, and he did this lobster with.
Did you
this
tell him about the
onions
rocks
and
you took for me and Juan Cancel at my house?
there was no rocks, bro.
Rocks, bro. He made rocks. Alex
no
was there.
Rocks.
Tell him he made
Alex,
rocks.
what does Alex know? He calls it macaroni. You know, come on.
I let that story
what
die.
if somebody
He
from-
curses me about that story before I even tell it.
But anyway, good
anyway.
guy.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So Erik Gudermerson.
You messed that up.
Back to normal.
No, that's what I'm used to.
He started with a bang. He started with a bang. He's good. He's good.
That's what I'm
Good
used
course.
to.
On purpose.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Master Sensei,
Yes.
any projects or anything you want to let any of our fans or any of your fans listening right now give them a little peek or heads up about coming up in the near future for Cigar Dojo verse?
Yeah, well, we got a couple things. We're doing some big upgrades right now to the app. We just finished a couple of them, but the cool thing is, guys, this is our 10th anniversary year. So we've got some really cool collaborations coming up in the 10-year anniversary celebration that we're going to be doing all year long. So we're super excited about that. This is sort of like the first one of all those projects, the Diet Sarsaparilla, which kind of harkens back to the very beginning. Like I said, the Sassy was our second ever. So it's going to be a lot of 10th anniversary stuff that we're going to be doing all year long, Abe. It's going to be great.
This is our 10th year also, Erik. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we came up together, brother. Well, you were already doing it before me, but as far as Espinosa premium cigars go, yeah, same year.
10 years. 10 years, February 7th.
That's awesome.
Goes by fast, doesn't it, fellas?
It sure does. If you stumble across any pictures of us that first year, if we weren't sitting on top of each other in that little warehouse we had, we all had darker hair. Erik had hair. I didn't have gray hair. None of us had gray hair. We were Junior looked like a kid. Junior looked like he had just got out of high school. And now
he did just get out
of high school. Eric's nieces and Eric's stepson at the warehouse.
We were tight.
My kids were in elementary school. I mean, it was ridiculous, and there they were always there at the warehouse doing something, if it was on the weekend or whatever. We've come a long way, man. 10 years, and Eric's being kind when he tells you we had some hard times in the beginning.
So
hard times.
Talking about hair, I'm going to share a story. I'm going to make Erik Espinosa tell a story he probably doesn't want to tell. Alex, I don't even know if you heard this story over the weekend. Erik came up Saturday night, shared my 50th birthday party. We had a party here at the Smoke Inn, and Erik came up and hung out with us. Bought me a beautiful, my first ever bottle of Pappy. So
nice, damn,
a nice bottle. My wife didn't even know what it was. I had to give her the whole dissertation and lecture on what Pappy Van Winkle was.
He went into the safe.
It's my first bottle ever.
Did you look it up?
So Erik bought me a beautiful birthday gift. But that morning, I got a call from our friend Marvin Samuel. Now, Erik and I are both in this movie that Marvin Samuel put together called I, Mordecai, which stars Judd Hirsch, Carol Kane, Sean Astin. I mean, it's a big time production. The movie premieres tomorrow night. which Eric, I'm sure you're going to be at. We're going to be
Absolutely.
down there tomorrow night. The world premieres tomorrow night in Miami. So we're going to watch the movie, but Eric and I are both in it. But I got a call from Marvin telling me a story about Eric. And it was so funny and so I couldn't believe it. I literally FaceTimed Eric right away and he answered the phone. That fucking Marvin called you, didn't he? So you got to tell people what happened. Did you hear this story, Alex, this weekend?
I did not.
Oh, you're going to love this. Tell the story what happened because it's actually fucking funny.
Every Marvin story is hilarious.
I have I was growing out a beard, and my barber Joel, and if you guys have been to Lozona-Palooza, my son has a barber chair in his office, and Joel will come and cut hair, whatever. Well, Joel moved. He moved to the Tampa area, and I don't have a barber. So most of the time I shave or whatever, and I like that straight razor shave. So there's a guy who I know from another cigar shop. He told me he opened up a barber shop around my warehouse. It's Saturday morning. I said, let me give this guy a shot. I hear he's pretty good. So I call the guy. He goes, yeah, come through. I get there. He's busy. He puts me on this other kid. All right, no big deal. How bad can I go? Shave my head and clean it up or what have you. And then the guy looks at me and goes, do you want to dye your beard? And I said, listen, I do it sometimes. I don't mind the salt, pepper, whatever. You understand? Just something light, as long as it's light. What is it that you use? He goes, this Beijing. That's
I just want to let you know. Hold on. Alex is laughing. See, Beijing, I have to preempt this. Beijing is garbage color. Okay? That's the basic color that barbers who don't know how to mix color use, and it's the stuff that makes your stuff look pitch black. All right,
like a marker.
My wife is a colorist. Okay, she's a hair colorist by design. She literally mixes my color. She colors my beard, but as you can see, I never get it pitch black. It just kind of tones down the white and kind of makes it salt peppery, which I think is the effect Eric wanted. But that Beijing, you never going to get it.
So
that's like anime black.
Ronald Reagan black.
Remember when you're cutting your hair, you don't have your glasses on, so I can't see. The guy goes, no, it'll be light. It'll just be.
Oh, I get the same problem. I can't wear my glasses when they cut my hair, so I can never see what they're doing.
No problem. So whatever, I'm there, dude. He's doing his stuff. I'm just chilling because I can't even be on my phone because I can't see because I don't have my glasses on. So whatever, chilling. Blah, 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 blah. The guy finishes up. And he goes, come on, I got to wash it off and stuff like that. So I go there, he washes it off. Boom, I come back and it's pitch black. When I tell you, black, like you said, marker black. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm pissed off. And I'm
Sharpie.
So
literally Sharpie black.
I don't say nothing because I'm not that type of guy. I'm not going to embarrass the kid. He's trying or the owner of the shop. So I paid the guy. I tipped him out the door. I get home. Now, my wife's not in town. She's in Orlando. So I got to call her up. So I got this bright idea. I said, you know what? I hate this, but if I leave the goatee, it won't be that bad. So I shave it off. I said, I'll shave it and go back on.
Alex is laughing. He already knows where it's going.
So I shave it off.
I saw it.
After I shaved it off, I still got that black mark. It would not come off. Listen, I Googled things. I did it. They told me use conditioner. So I
literally FaceTimed Erik Espinosa. He answered his car. He had a goatee, and you could see the black.
Dude, it was bad. And I got this party to go to, and I'm gonna look like an idiot. So I called my wife. I'm trying to take care of this. Or put some conditioner, leave it on there, and then scrub it. So a little bit comes off, but it's still black. So she texted me a picture of this thing called Oops hair dye or something like that. It's a woman thing, and it's called Oops. When you mess up your color or whatever, it comes off. Now you got to mix two liquids together. Now this thing is like acid. I mean, so I do it in the car. I go to Walgreens. I read the instructions. I pop it.
So you bought that car?
I get a cloth and I start putting it on, and my face is red. I mean, now it's red. It's coming off a little bit, but now it's red. the more you applied it on it, the more it came off, but the redder you
You didn't notice, Alex. I like, 'cause you know the story.
I
But
don't
he
know
was
what's going
all
either you burn
irritated.
your face.
He was all
what have
irritated
you.
right here.
Oh my God. So I it was going on. I stopped. I literally stopped, and I figured the event's outside. No one's gonna be able to see it. So I had to go somewhere before there. And I went in the valet. I valeted the car. And when I get back in the car, that car reeked. And I couldn't understand what's the smell. I'm looking at the guy, dude. I'm looking at the valet, dude. Why is this my car smell? The guy goes, I don't know. I go, where'd you park this? He goes, dude, this thing smells. And I'm driving up to the event, and the car reeks, And all of a sudden, I look at the thing and I smell it, and it was the combination of the two liquids that you mixed, dude. It was horrible. I mean, I pulled up, and I don't normally litter, but I had to get that shit out of my car. Thank God it was dark, bro. But I'm doing pretty good right now,
That was the best. I did not believe Marvin when he told me. I was like, I gotta FaceTime him right now.
But that's a Marvin moment. The reason
It's a
I
Marvin moment. That's something Marvin would do.
It's a Marvin moment. Those are things that he would do.
But yeah, he answered the phone. He didn't even shy away. He answered right away. And his first thing he said was, Marvin fucking called you, didn't he? Like, yeah, dude,
I knew when you were calling me on FaceTime. I knew they had called you.
Well, guys, listen, this is our third TGS release event. We're winding it up here. We see the orders coming in. Everybody, your product will go out, start shipping first thing tomorrow. Thank you for all who took part in this historic release of Diet Sarsaparilla. They'll start shipping tomorrow. Erik, both of you, and Hector too. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you for honoring the Great Smoke with this awesome release. We're very proud and happy to be involved with the Great Smoke. And thanks to Rebel Bourbon for sponsoring this broadcast. Anything I miss? Anything you guys want to say before we check out?
I'll just say real quick, I know for a fact that I never miss a Great Smoke, other than, of course, last year. But we were there on the virtual broadcast. But guys,
you were one of the people we simulcast from Colorado.
If you are a cigar fanatic like we are at the dojo, this is an event it's gotta be one of your cornerstone events that you plan on, because the event is amazing. Every single year, Abe brings something new to the table. It's a blast. I can't wait to be there and hang out with you guys. So hopefully all the dojo, I know there's a bunch of dojo guys going down for this, so I can't wait to hang out with everybody at the event. Great Smoke, it is the event to go to. So make sure to make plans. If you can't do it this year, make sure to plan next year, because it's the best, man. If you're a cigar smoker, this is where you got to be in February, late February.
I am so pumped up about this year. This year is going to be first off, the package is stellar. The party pack is out of this world. And I am so pumped up about the production this year. Erik, you got to come down to my birthday party. What did you think of what was done to the shop for my birthday party? Erik Espinosa.
He may not hear you.
Erik, can you hear us?
He don't know.
Anyways, we have this wonderful woman that we were working with, and she was supposed to be involved in the digital
You're
version.
going in and out, Abe. What did I think about the shop?
No, how was the shop decorated for?
Yes,
for
I can hear you.
How was the shop decorated? He's delayed. Anyways, this woman we got involved is really making this a production. I mean, there's going to be volcanoes there, fire dancers. This is going to be an over-the-top year for the Great Smoke. We're uber excited about it.
Oh, phenomenal!
There you
go. He said it was phenomenal. It looked great. It was a tremendous job.
She converted our whole outside store into a Moroccan marketplace. It was really amazing, and this woman's really talented. So we're excited with what she's putting together. Erik Gutterson, as someone who's been to many, many Great Smokes, I can't wait to see what's going on this year. This is going to be a full-blown production. And with the virtual side of it, there's hundreds and hundreds of people across America who are going to get the chance to be involved. To answer Vince Benetti, Alex was supposed to work on this when I was sick out with COVID. We didn't get to it, but we will get it up by the end of this week, hopefully. The fine folks at Feed the Party are doing the same promo that they did last year. Let Feed the Party feed your party. We're gonna have a contest up next week.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that.
Yes, we talked about it because remember we had to pull the video from last year, see if we can make some edits from it when I was out with COVID. So
I can hear you now, bro.
We'll be doing a promo. If you're going to throw a watch party for the Great Smoke, we're going to have a little competition. And they're going to pick out 3 winners, and they will send you this meat pack. Phil, last year they sent filet mignon, pork chops, tomahawk ribeye. It was a huge thing, and that promo should be up for people who are doing it virtually next week. So get your entry in early, and 3 people win this awesome party pack, and Feed the Party will feed your party. So Vince, yeah, they are doing it again. We just been a little bit behind the 8 ball, but we'll get it up hopefully by the end of this week, early next week. And that
Hey, before you go,
before we go, what?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, hurry up.
Oh, okay, hurry up. Just a quick story. You talk about tight. When we're talking about we were tight in the warehouse. How tight was it when you started the Great Smoke, when you were doing it in front of the shop? You know, like the success story, how, you know, you started in such a small little venue right across the shop in West Palm.
Literally,
and then how this in the courtyard, how this evolved into something, you know, something big, and now, you know,
I think the attendance of
all
the first
the fans
Smoke,
you have and everything's attributed to
the
you guys, you and your guys, man. You know, you keep building.
Sorry, he's flagging. But the attendance of the first Great Smoke was only, I think, 300 people in our
keep losing you, bro.
And it was shoulder to shoulder by the second year. We couldn't use it, and then we got moved to the parking lot. And then 3 venues later, we're at the South Florida Fairgrounds. Great people. They embrace us. They embrace the cigar community. The smoking is all right, and they provide an awesome venue for us to throw this party. So, if you're around or anywhere near South Florida or want to get out of the bad weather, there are still live tickets available. There is a very small amount of virtual tickets left. I'm going to guess it's going to sell out in the very near future. If you want to participate in the Great Smoke virtually from the safety of your own home or garage or wherever you want to do a watch party. But other than that, peace. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you, Master Sensei. Thank you, Hector. Thank you.
Hold up. Can I do a little tease? Sir. Can I do a little tease?
Oh, my man, shoot. Tease away.
Bam.
Oh, so there it is. That is the next release, TGS limited release. That is a project that Matt Booth and I have talked about for 6 years. It is the sequel to the original Big Delicious cigar. It's called Little Big Delicious. It was in tribute. It was in tribute to our sons. We both had boys roughly a year apart. And we said, let's make a Little Big Delicious in tribute to it. That's going to be our next TGS limited edition release. Hold on. Actually, I got it right here. This is a very pretty rad, cool looking box.
I saw it the other day, yeah.
As you can see on the back, super duper
limited.
Limited. As only Matt Booth could do. And we're very excited about this. Like I said, Matt Booth and I were talking about this project for 6 years. It's a little mini version of the Big Delicious cigar, shaggy closed foot, box press, little torpedo. The information should be up on the site the next couple of days for the LBD. And Alex, I don't have my browser open, but what is the date of that release? Let's see here.
26th, right?
The 26th. So the 26th of January, we will have the next TGS mini release with Matt Booth. There are only 300 boxes of these made. These are going to go a little bit quicker. But this will be a epic release and paying homage to the original Big Delicious line. We're very, very excited about this project. January 26th, 7 p.m., Wednesday night, Eastern Standard Time. We'll be back here with Matt Booth and my man Alex, and we're going to release this puppy, so catch us there. Until then, Happy New Year, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Peace.